The Ministry of Finance and IWH-CREC have mutually agreed to terminate the deal for the JV company to buy a 60% stake in Bandar Malaysia for 7.4 billion ringgit. According to a joint statement issued by MoF-owned TRX City and IWC-CREC, this comes after both parties agreed not to extend the conditions precedent period of the agreement, which lapsed on May 6th this year. The statement said TRX City and IWC-CREC had been working together to find solutions to preserve the partnership to realise the common vision of unlocking Bandar Malaysia's potential. Despite such efforts, it said the parties had not been able to mutually agree to the terms of the extension of the condition precedent period, hence deeming the deal null and void. It is understood that IWH-CREC will get a refund of 1.54 billion ringgit cash, which it had paid to the MoF on a staggered basis. The two parties inked the restated and amended share sale agreement in December 2019 for the equity sale in Bandar Malaysia. IWH-CREC is a 60-40 joint venture between Iskandar Waterfront Holdings and China Railway Engineering Corp Malaysia, a unit of China Railway Group. Builder WCT Holdings will receive 726.57 million dirhams, or about 828.25 million ringgit from Maiden Group, as a full and final settlement for a dispute regarding the 4.6 billion ringgit Nadal Sheba Dubai Racecourse contract. According to its filing with Bursa Malaysia, its subsidiary WCT inked the settlement agreement with Meydan Group yesterday. It said the amount is equivalent to 65% of the principal sum of 1.15 billion dirhams or 1.2 billion ringgit awarded to its units by Dubai's arbitral tribunal in 2015. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, the group said that once completed, the settlement should contribute positively to its earnings per share and net assets per share and result in the improvement of its net gearing ratio. Meydan will pay the 828.25 million ringgit final settlement sum in two portions, with the initial payment of 279.45 million dirhams, about 318.56 million ringgit, to be paid by next Tuesday. For the remaining portion, the balance of 447.12 million dirhams, about 509.69 million ringgit, will be paid in 12 equal quarterly installments of 37.26 million dirhams, about 42.47 million ringgit each, starting from October 20th, 2021. According to the board's filing, should Meydan default on the initial payment, the settlement agreement shall cease to have any effect, and the final award shall remain in full force and effect, and WCT Holdings shall be at liberty immediately to resume with the legal proceedings. OneMDB and its subsidiaries have amended their writ and filed a statement of claim to seek a total of $3.7837 billion from Loh Teck Jo, his two siblings, parents and associate Eric Tan Kim Long. In the original writ filed last May 7th, the companies initially sought a claim of $1.402 billion against Jo Loh, his father Tan Sri Larry Loh Hock Peng, younger sister Mei Lin and Tan. The amended writ and statement of claim see OneMDB, along with OneMDB Energy Holdings, OneMDB Energy, OneMDB Energy Langat, and Global Diversified Investment Company, naming Jo Loh's mother Puan Sri Goh Kek Wee and his brother Teck Zen as additional defendants. The edgemarkets.com found the amended writ and the statement of claim from a file search. These alleged that the defendants were involved in multiple frauds involving OneMDB and its subsidiaries. The fund and its units were defrauded of $7.771 billion by a group of individuals, including former PM Datuk Sri Najib Razak, who is said to have facilitated a large-scale and long-term fraud. The new court document was filed by law firm Scrine at the Kuala Lumpur High Court last week on July 6th. Scrine's counsel Sivakumar Kanagasabai told the edgemarkets.com that they will try to serve the amended writ to all defendants, failing which they may have to apply for substitute service, i.e. take out a notice in the newspapers, put the statement of claim on the court's notice board, or leave a copy of the writ of summons at their respective premises or with a court-approved friend or family member. A further case management has been fixed for August 12. Mean monthly salaries and wages fell by 9% in 2020 as Malaysia's labour market experienced uneven momentum following the health crisis and its economic consequences. This is the first decline since the Statistics Department started its salaries and wages data series in 2010. According to Chief Statistician Datuk Sri Dr. Muhammad Uzair Mahidin, average monthly salaries and wages, which had for 2 straight years stood at over 3,000 ringgit, declined last year to 2,933. All sectors recorded decreases, with agriculture, mining and quarrying, and construction posting double-digit declines of between 10.4% to 20%. The services sector saw a fall of 9.4% and manufacturing a 2.8% decline. Mean monthly salaries and wages for skilled employees fell to 4,619 ringgit from 5,072 in 2019, while the average pay for semi-skilled employees was 2,007 ringgit versus 2,206 previously. Meanwhile, the mean monthly salaries and wages in urban areas fell 9.3% to 3,089 ringgit, compared with a 5.5% drop in rural areas to 2,086 ringgit. The decline in average pay was experienced in all states. Employees in Putrajaya received the highest mean monthly salaries and wages at 4,497. Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan and Labuan also recorded mean value above the national level. As for median monthly salaries and wages, Muhammad Uzair said the value recorded a double-digit decrease of 15.6% after an average monthly growth of 5.6% for the past 9 years. He said the median value of 2,062 ringgit indicates half of employees earned above this value and half earned below. The Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court was told today that while the Penang government claimed its undersea tunnel project was awarded to Consortium Zenith BUCG via an open tender, former Chief Minister Lim Guan Eng had asked for the request for proposal or RFP to be hastened. Former Penang Executive Councillor Lim Hock Seng testified that the then CM made this request on May 19, 2011, after having decided on May 4th on an open tender. Hock Seng was reading from his sworn statements as the third prosecution witness of Guan Eng's graft trial in connection with the tunnel project. The former Bagan Jermal State Assemblyman said that while the project was still under open tender, Guan Eng instructed his representatives to meet with Lee Chi Ho, a representative of Beijing Urban Construction Group or BUCG, and Consortium Zenith Construction's Datuk Zarul Ahmad Muhammad Zulkifli. He said that on the evening of May 19th, after Guan Eng's request to hasten the RFP, the Penang representatives prepared the document and invited Zarul and Lee for a meeting. As consultants were being appointed to conduct a study for a transport master plan in Penang, the state signed an MOU with BUCG on April 28, 2011 for the construction of an undersea tunnel and 3 road expansion packages. The witness also testified that Guan Eng and 10 state executive councillors had made a trip to China on the invitation of BUCG to study its construction projects in Beijing. However, he said the 6-day trip from June 2nd to June 8th, 2011 was fully paid for by the Penang state government.